You are watching Xirtus.
I'm asking about fees from suing drug companies. Will you agree not to do that?
You're asking me to not sue drug companies,
No,
and I'm not going to agree to that,
drug
Senator.
companies as much as you want.
I'm not going to agree to not sue drug companies or anybody.
So let's do a quick count here of how, as Secretary of HHS, if you get confirmed, you could influence every one of those lawsuits. Well, let me start the list. You could publish your anti-vaccine conspiracies, but this time on U.S. government letterhead, something a jury might be impressed by.
Oh my God, she reminds me of like every lady I hated in elementary and public school. She's just like prime evil poured into a condensed cup. It's like this is like the dimethyltrypta evil. It's like when you process morphine into heroin level of processing obnoxious into evil. Okay, I'm better.
He needs more adrenaline.
I don't understand that.
BC vaccine panel who share your anti-vax views and let them do your dirty work. You could tell the CDC vaccine panel to remove a particular vaccine from the vaccine schedule.
Please do.
You could remove vaccines from special compensation programs, which would open up manufacturers to mass torts. You could make more injuries eligible.
How much did they pay you, Warren?
There is no causal evidence. You could change vaccine court processes to make it easier to bring junk lawsuits. You could turn over FDA data to your friends at the law firm, and they could use it however it benefited them. You could change vaccine labeling. You could change vaccine information rules. You could.
It's really hot that right behind him, you know, is your Curb Me Enthusiasm, Cheryl.
Change
pretty
which
cool.
claims are compensated in the vaccine injury compensation program. There's a lot of ways that you can influence those future lawsuits and pending lawsuits while you are Secretary of HHS. And I'm asking you to commit right now that you will not take a financial stake in every one of those lawsuits so that what you do as Secretary will also benefit you financially down the line.
Fucking disgusting.
I'll comply with all the ethical guidelines.
That's not the question.
Sorry.
She's fucking taking money from Pfizer and all these other fucking companies. And she's going to spin it as if his scheme is to make money off suing the fucking vaccine companies. Yeah. It's fucking disgusting. I hate this woman. I don't
Do you guys think she's a reptilian?
She looks like a reptilian.
Yeah, she's got them.
She definitely doesn't look like a Native American. I don't know what you want me to say.
This is like a psychic magic going on.
You're asking me, Senator, you're asking me not to sue vaccine pharmaceutical companies.
No, I am not.
God, this is why we're replacing the state.
Yeah, you are. That's exactly what you're doing.
Look, no one should be fooled here.
To the gulag with you, lady.
As Secretary of HHS, Robert Kennedy will have the power to undercut vaccines and vaccine manufacturing across our country.
Holy God, please give him the power to save us.
And for all of his talk about follow the science and his promise that he won't interfere with those of us who want to vaccinate his kids, the bottom line is the same. Kennedy can kill off access to vaccines and make millions of dollars while he does it. Kids might die, but Robert Kennedy can keep cashing in.
What about the people who?
Wow, that sounds jealous.
Yeah, big pharma is the ones that need all the money.
It's vaccine is just a word like drug.
Intro,
you know,
she's literally criticizing him for saying that people who get vaccine injuries should be able to get access to court, like to suing them. Like,
honestly,
she's saying that's a bad thing. Like, people shouldn't have the right to sue them. So
I feel like if Elizabeth Warren was like a first grade teacher, we would just like her a lot more. We'd be like, this lady's a good school teacher.
No. She reminds me of a teacher I had in elementary school, Miss Cassidy.
I had a lesbian kindergarten teacher, and she was
short-haired, bitchy, like really mean, like, but it wasn't her fault. She was like 900 years old. So
I had so many man-hating feminist teachers in the early 90s at my public elementary school in California that remind me of this lady, and just they had this obnoxious quality of just like, you need to understand you come from men and men are the problem. And, we're going to educate your generation on what they did. It's like, dude, who hurt you, lady?
Yo, I had
That's
a
why you
science
cut
teacher
your hair
like
short.
I had a science teacher who was talking about like the difference in chromosomes and how the males actually have the deformed and fucked up chromosomes, and even went on to suggest or insinuate that Eve came first before Adam and all this like shit.
It's all just eugenics. It's
great
basic bitch supremacy nonsense. It's the same thing as when like black people are like, oh, our dark skin gives us magic powers. It's the same stupid bullshit, except
it kind of does.
We all had that teacher. I'm pretty sure.
Everything.
Basketball.
I don't know. I like all my
legally
teachers. Even the
now,
crazy ones. Even because I never had like a teacher that did like the unspeakable. You know what I'm talking about. But like
I had a teacher.
I did the unspeakable usually. Oh, that's what you mean. Sorry.
Mary Kay
no, I just meant like if a teacher ever caused trouble with me, I made it pretty clear that it wasn't like a good idea. And then
you
like,
just had sex with them.
I'm not going to confirm or deny how many times whatever happened. I'm just saying it wasn't with Mrs. Garrison at very least. I don't know. Yeah. He needs 51 votes. If 2 or 3 Republicans didn't. There's 53 Republicans. There's 51 votes he needs. So if 2 don't support him, then they could really pull him out. And I think that's kind of their goal right now. They want to do everything they can.
Of course, because they're all bought and paid for. Yeah, they're all bought and paid for by the pharmaceutical industry, by big pharma. Yeah, they're all shills, and then they come on and they always do the you're guilty of the thing everybody knows we're guilty of thing, right? And so how long are people going to fall for this shit? It's like you're sitting there, fucking your biggest donors are obviously the fucking people that you're worried about being sued right now, but you're going to make it about fucking RFK Jr. is going to become a billionaire from lawsuits against big pharma. Come on,
I got news for you. He's a Kennedy, and Cheryl's already got some money on her own.
Bro, did you see
right? They don't need more money.
Did you see the Caroline Kennedy video that she made on him?
I didn't actually watch it.
She's literally trying to insinuate that he's a serial killer because he was feeding his hawks.
Yummy.
Who is he? Christopher Walken?
Some people are dumb. Yeah, but this is just the slander game. This is just politics, right? They're just throwing shit for the sake of throwing shit. They don't have.
Yeah, but it's his cousin. It's his cousin, Caroline Kennedy, that's doing it. It's like
It's because she's a political ideologue. That's all.
It's all red.
These people are not. They're not playing the real. They're not playing clean, right? Like none of them are playing clean. It's all just dirty shit slinging, and none of it is actually meaningful. Like they say that he's controlled by the worm in his brain, like what can anyone actually say in response to that notion? Just it's so absurd that like
they're controlled by the lizards. I don't know. Like
that's the thing. It's just they'll be like, oh, everyone else is this bad thing, and then they have no problem.
I hope the next president is like more absurd. Like I hope we get Marianne Williamson. We need to make America spiritual again.
Honestly, I think that what they should go for is the entertainment route. Like Donald Trump, the reason he won is because he's an entertainer and he's a good entertainer. He's able to do stand up. He's able to do fucking improv. If Jon Stewart had run against Trump, they might have won. They might have actually won because he could actually go toe to toe with him and talk to him in a real way. You gotta give
Trump credit because Trump caught on to kind of the zeitgeist, to like what Americans were really upset about, and finally gave a voice to that where very few other politicians were.
For sure. But Jon Stewart was always good at that too. That's why he could have done it.
For Marxist. How good is having Dr. Phil on ice? I mean, like Dr. Phil used to talk to